August 1, 1981, 12:01 a.m. A rocket launches on a television screen. A flag plants on the moon. And then 3 words that would echo through the next decade and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll. With that, MTV flickered to life, and nothing about music or pop culture would ever be the same again. To understand what MTV did, you have to understand what music looked like before it. In the late 1970s, if you wanted to hear your favorite artist, you had 2 options: buy the record or catch them on a talk show, maybe The Tonight Show, maybe American Bandstand. That was it. There were no music videos in heavy rotation, no visual identity tied to a song. The music was the music. The face behind it was almost beside the point. Record labels sold sound. Radio was king. And the idea that you could watch a song play out like a short film, that was science fiction. MTV changed that overnight. The first video MTV ever aired was "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Buggles. And looking back, that choice was almost prophetic. A song literally about one medium replacing another, played at the exact moment a new medium was being born. In those early days, MTV had a problem. There weren't enough music videos to fill the airtime. Most American artists hadn't made them. It was British acts, artists like Duran, Culture Club, and the Human League, who had already been making polished, cinematic videos for the UK market. And suddenly, they had a direct pipeline into American living rooms. This became known as the Second British Invasion, and it happened almost entirely because of MTV. Artists who had barely cracked the US charts found themselves cultural phenomena overnight, not because their music changed, but because American teenagers could now see them. But no story about MTV in the 80s is complete without talking about Michael Jackson. In 1982, Thriller was released. It was already a massive album, but MTV at that point wasn't playing black artists. It was a painful and well-documented reality. The channel leaned almost exclusively toward rock and new wave, and black musicians were largely shut out. That changed when CBS Records essentially forced MTV's hand. They threatened to pull all their artists from the channel if Jackson wasn't played. And so, Billie Jean hit MTV rotation in early 1983. The response was immediate, explosive. The phones lit up, the ratings spiked, and when the Thriller short film dropped later that year, a 14-minute cinematic masterpiece directed by John Landis, it didn't just air on MTV, it became an event. Thriller redefined what a music video could be. It had a plot, it had choreography, it had Vincent Price doing a spoken-word rap over a zombie apocalypse. It was watched, rewatched, and dissected like nothing before it. After that, MTV could never go back to ignoring black artists again. And the music landscape, and the channel itself, was permanently broader for it. MTV didn't just change what people listened to. It changed how the music industry worked. Suddenly, image mattered as much as sound. Record labels started pouring money into video production. Directors like David Fincher and Spike Jonze, before they became Hollywood legends, cut their teeth making music videos. The visual style of a song became part of the song itself. Artists who were photogenic and camera-ready thrived. Artists who weren't had to adapt or get left behind. It also changed how music spread. Before MTV, a song's success depended almost entirely on radio airplay and word of mouth. MTV created a visual word of mouth. You didn't just tell your friend about a great song, you told them about the video, the image, the look. Madonna understood this better than almost anyone. She didn't just make music, she constructed visual worlds, constantly reinventing her look, her persona, her message. MTV was her canvas, and she painted on it brilliantly. By the mid-80s, if you didn't have a video, you barely existed. MTV launched as a novelty, a strange new channel where you could watch bands play songs. But it became something much more powerful, the engine that drove pop culture for an entire decade. It turned musicians into icons. It launched careers overnight. It forced an industry to reckon with its own blind spots, and it permanently fused the way we hear music with the way we see it. The next time you watch a music video, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, remember that the whole idea of a visual language for music, that was born in the early hours of August 1st, 1981, with a rocket, a moon landing, and 3 words. Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll.